Okay, we're going to start off with replacing a few wires. Got the wires for the lights here and here. Wire coming to the cap to the volume or the tone control there. This cracked black one here. This one goes to that light, so it comes all the way up here to get replaced. This green one here runs up to there. That looks to be about it, so we'll get started on that. I think we'll come up from underneath, bring it around. That'd be our best bet. Like so. That's around. Go back the way it was. Of course, green one off of there. Help that my shop is so cold. So let's pull him all the way out. Here. This will be his replacement. It's a little more stiff, but it's a little better wire. So this guy, let's take that bolt out. Best way to do that. Let me think about that real quick. Come back. Okay, we're back. A little bit of coffee there. So I took a look at it, and it was tied in a knot up here to keep it from going through a bracket up there, but it was pretty cracked all the way up there, so I had to cut it back and cut off some of this rubber just to get it past the cracked part. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and splice this on, and then we'll follow that up with a little bit of heat shrink to seal that up. So let's set this up here real quick. These things, I think they call them third hands or helping hands or whatever they call them. These things are great. Help a lot. So what we'll do is, since that one's a little thicker, we'll wrap this guy around here. So trim him off. Get him up in here, just to keep that in line. Take a little heat shrink. Hopefully that'll go over. Let's see. I'll go all the way up into that rubber. As far as we can go up in there. Take my little heater. There. Not bad. Better. Okay. So we're back through here. We'll run this up. We'll just run that through there. Even though this is coming out, it's kind of in the way. Run him through there. Up here. There we go. So wrap him around. Pinch that guy on. Pretty bad. Okay, I'm back. I got all my components. We're ready to go. And I noticed after I replaced this cracked wire with a new wire here, this one I didn't bother putting back on because it went to filter cap that's going to be replaced anyway, the 16. But I noticed it was connected down here on this end of this tapped resistor. Now looking down at the schematic here, you're coming off of this. Coming off of this cap here on one end to ground, which is what it looked like it was doing. It came off of there to here. But you have the center tap here, and then you have the other end here, which has no connection on it. It kind of looks, let me zoom in a little bit there. See, this one isn't connected. This one just goes underneath. It kind of looked like it was, but it's not. On the schematic, there's a definite connection here. So that black wire that I replaced is this one here, which goes to the coil or the transformer. And then the center tap is that blue wire here. This one here on the end should be going to that cap, so it should be this one here, and it's not. So I'm going to do a little research on that and make sure they didn't alter something, because it was working. The radio was working, so I didn't check any voltages on it though. But when I replace these caps, and I'll go through and replace all these other ones too, then I'll go back and check the voltages and see what the differences are here and here. Maybe I'll just omit that one for now, put it in but not connect it to it, and see how it goes. This one I can replace, and then I'll go through and replace these other ones. Like before, all these ones here were all replaced prior by another serviceman. And this one up here, I had replaced one that they had replaced previously, but then I realized on the schematic that this one here doesn't even need to be there. That should be a straight line to that tone adjustment, straight to here. This is the one that needs to be replaced. This one apparently was bad, and they just put that other one on there to bring it back up to value instead of just replacing this one. So I'll replace all these. I'll put that one back the way it's supposed to be, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I replaced the 0.006 with a new orange drop. Now I did the J-hook process on this side here, and then wrapped it around the terminal down here. I prefer the J-hook. I've tried. A lot of people like using the technique of just taking it straight off of the terminals, but I've found with some of these things, if you get these things too hot, they'll just fall apart on you. So I prefer to clip them off as far as I can up, J-hook it, clamp it down, get a good mechanical connection, and then solder it. Some people even did the little pigtail deals. I tried that. I think it looks a little messy around, because you're essentially just making a little pigtail with this piece and you're sliding it on what you just clipped off. And it looks, to me, it looks a little funky. I guess maybe with the solder on it, it doesn't look that bad, but I don't like it. So I prefer the J-hook. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the rest of these, and I'll be back. Okay, just an update. I went ahead and replaced all these caps here, and this one had the first filter cap, which had this big older unit, and they had all these resistors and everything clumped up on one tab here. Just a big mess. So I had to put this, bolted this down in here, reattached all the resistors and stuff and the filter cap onto this connection instead. Much cleaner, easier to see, more solid. It'll be much better. All right, keep on going. I don't know how many people do this. I do this. I take the schematic and I highlight, like for instance here, what needs to be replaced when I test it, and I highlight that, like these ones here. This was yellow, and this turned out to be yellow. And then after it gets replaced, I mark it green. So these are all the caps that I had already replaced. These are the two. This is the resistor that I replaced, and obviously the coupling coil that I had to fix. So I keep going through, highlight the ones that I replaced, so I know where I'm at. I can check the circuit as I'm going. It just makes things a lot more easier and keeps things organized in my mind. That's it. Okay, another issue. I got all these capped up here. Mark them all off on my schematic down here, but I have this guy down here, this cap right here, coming off this resistor. So you got the resistor coming down back here. You can't see it. This one was connected here to ground. I clipped it so I can see what I'm doing, but this is going to be a toughie. It's way in the back there. I don't know if you can see. There might be a little bit, there might be enough wire to reach. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one just to clip. So I'll work on this one and see how far I get. Be back. Okay, I was able to get in there, reach in there. I got my J hooks on there. Couldn't tighten down the back J hook as much as I wanted, but the front one was pretty tight. Soldered it all up, put a little insulation on there, and grounded it on this side. Nice and solid, all clear. Keep going. Okay, like I said, everything's all recapped, rewired. I had a few wires I had to replace. As I was going through, there's some that just started crumbling. Had to get rid of them. But I did have one problem, I'll admit, when I messed up. Up in here, this is the RF coupling coil here. That resistor in the back was the replacement of the resistor that was right here in front. It was bad. I went to clip it. I clipped it a little too far back, and I ended up clipping the lead on the RF coupler as well as the resistor. So I had to go back, dig out the you can see from here. Kind of back in here. Oh, I need a new pointer. I had to dig this core out a little bit so I can get another lead, J-hook it, solder that on, and reconnect that. Now it's solid, it's all good. And you know, sometimes you mess up. But that's it for the wiring of this. I am going to add Bluetooth to this because that's what the customer wants. She doesn't really get radio stations where she's at anyway. So I'll add Bluetooth to it so she can play whatever she wants. So, next video is the test run, and then after that, we'll do the Bluetooth. Bye. Okay, all capped, new power cord put in. I missed one cap, and I had to go back and put him in. But now it's time to fire it up and see what it sounds like. Lights on. No hum. No station. Let's see here. Still warming up. Sounds pretty good. Got to align it though.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions.
Yep, definitely needs an alignment.
But cash is king and the paid off.
No hum, sounds good. So next step, the alignment.